You're watching 11 Alive Morning News. 11 minutes of nonstop news starts now.
Kicking off your 11 minutes of nonstop news, checking out your forecast and your traffic.
Chesley, you've got the good news. Let's start with you.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, we got plenty of sunshine. It's going to be around for today. I mean, starting off that way this morning, it's going to be a nice one out there as well. Lower humidity is going to feel really good. Temperatures are in the 60s and 50s. Look at this, 55 degrees in Canton, 59 degrees over toward Duluth, like low 50s up here to the north, 65 right now in Atlanta, but I think you'll dip down into the low 60s before rising back up. 78 degrees by noon, on our way to 87 for a forecast high. Clouds will increase late, but I think the rain is going to stay away from us today. Crash?
All right, it looks like the rest of the rush hour is going to sleep in for a while. We're concentrating on the West Expressway. The wreck still blocks a right lane. This is I-20 eastbound at Riverside. You're not quite backed up to Thornton Road. You have Highway 78 as an alternate. Personally, I think you'll be all right. Just stay to your left.
Now to your top headlines. New video and disturbing testimony seen and heard for the first time as a committee revealed its findings from a 10-month-long investigation into the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Committee members say this is part of their effort to lay out the events leading up to that violent, deadly siege. We now know Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger and Chief Operating Officer Gabriel Sterling were subpoenaed by House members. A source from the Secretary of State's office tells 11 Alive they're expected to give their testimony either on June 20th or 21st. The next public hearing is on Monday.
Saying goodbye to Atlanta rapper Trouble, hundreds danced and celebrated the rapper last night at a vigil in Cobb Park. He was shot and killed in Conyers last weekend. Trouble's brother was there and says he is so overwhelmed with the outpour of support from the community as his family grieves.
He what they call a real one. He ain't going nowhere. His memory ain't going nowhere. We're going to make sure that.
Trouble's funeral is set for 11 a.m. Monday at the House of Hope Atlanta in Decatur.
The Atlanta Police Department is working to make sure it's ready for an active shooter situation. They had an active shooter training yesterday, just weeks after 19 children and 2 teachers were shot and killed at a school in Texas. They went over what to do if a shooter walks into a school and starts shooting right away, and if they barricade themselves inside the room. Each officer is trained to respond immediately to enter a school without having to wait for any backup. Police are not the only ones thinking about school safety. It's summertime right now, but those few short months are over before you know it.
Yeah, so that's why Cobb County schools, they're acting now. It just passed some new safety measures to keep these students safe. Molly Oak is live for us this morning. Molly, we've been talking to parents about this in Cobb County, and they are definitely concerned about the response.
Yeah, sharing their concerns both vocally and then with what they're wearing also. Parents showed up to the district meeting last night with shirts saying, "We demand action," asking the district to take more steps to increase mental health and also to help with school safety. Now, dozens of parents showed up to the meeting on Thursday when the board voted to approve new security measures, including a new alert system, Centigix, where staff can call for help with a push of a button. However, parents have some concerns about that new system. Our sister station, WCNC, reports the system was sued by a school district in Charlotte, North Carolina, 2 years ago for having technology that wasn't working well or at all. Plus, Centigix is similar to the more than $5 million alert point system, which was hacked last year, prompting a false code red alert in Cobb's 115 schools.
We want to know the spending around that, if we're getting money back by breaking our contract, if our teachers are trained.
The teachers say they were not trained on alert point. The school superintendent says they were. I know in my experience right now, I trust the teachers.
The district said it's also looking into hiring more psychologists, as well as doing some unannounced drills and looking into hiring former military as security. Of course, as Cheryl mentioned earlier, school is out for the summer, so they've got some time to work on this.
Okay, it's 6:55 now.
Here is a look at what you need to know as you get ready to head out the door. The Senate's already out of town for the weekend and without agreeing on gun legislation. But negotiations plan to still hash out that lingering issue is during a virtual meeting today. We can tell you some provisions, though, such as mental health funding and school safety are pretty much settled, while so-called red flag provisions and enhancing those background checks, well, that is still being drawn up.
The latest inflation report is coming out in just a few hours. It's going to look back at what happened in the month of May. Economists expect the costs of gas, food, and other necessities likely shot up. We all felt it, right? It's described as the highest inflation in 40 years.
Monkeypox will be the focus of a meeting coming up in a few hours. The CDC, White House officials, and the Department of Human and Health Services will look at testing options available to the public. They'll also look at the latest cases confirmed across the country, including one right here in Metro Atlanta.
A major project to restore the final resting place for more than 12,000 African Americans is now finished. Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens will be at the historic Oakland Cemetery today to make that announcement. It was a $600,000 project that took 6 years to complete. Chesley?
All right, whatever plans you have for today, it's going to be a nice one. Get out there and enjoy it. By noon, temperatures right around 79 degrees. We've got mostly sunny skies out there. A little northerly breeze, about 5 miles per hour or less. By 3 o'clock this afternoon, I'll be playing. Looking at 84 degrees. Again, very nice with lower humidity around. Yeah, looking good. You'll also notice the clouds starting to increase on you as well. In fact, by 6 o'clock, partly cloudy skies will be the call. Northwest winds still about 5 miles per hour, 86 after reaching a high of 87 degrees for this afternoon. Get out there and enjoy it. Take advantage of it. Enjoy the weekend.
She's nicknamed the teen's tiniest fan. She just went to her first game. Emmylou was literally the size of a box of Cracker Jacks when she was born 3 months early. Her parents watched the World Series from the hospital, 84 days in intensive care. But look at her. She's back at the ballpark. They're grateful she's strong enough to be there. You know, she even got one of her own little World Championship rings. On her, it'd be humongous, right?
Just seeing her little baby head, I bet she's got that new baby smell.
Yeah. I'm glad she was able to make it out. You know?
I know.
You know, starting life that way and then now having a story like this. Photos at the Braves game. You're on the news and you're that little.
Looks like she's already eating Cracker Jacks. She's getting up there. She's
Yeah.
getting up there.
Have a great day, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.